They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha.
The judge threw us both out. Everybody freaked out. Anyways, they appropriately threw us both out again. Before we even get to stand before the judge, I go up and stand in line, and a sheriff's deputy comes up to me and he says, "You're going to have to sit down. Nobody else in line, I'm next." I said, "No, actually I'm allowed to stand here as a pro se attorney." Now, I'm getting ready to go face Wallman and Hummer. He begins to argue with me. So here we are arguing in back of the court. Judge Hummer's looking at me like I'm a bad problem, of course. And this guy won't let me go. He's just like on and on about how I got to sit and think. Don't argue with me. I said, I have a letter from Judge Farina which states specifically that pro se attorneys are afforded one right and one right only, but that is to stand in line with the attorneys to present their cases. Sheriff Bergman, could you tell me why a deputy sheriff would again today come and tell me that I am not allowed to stand in line as a pro se litigant and harass me for 5 minutes in the front of the judge and create another situation where my civil rights are being stomped upon?
First of all, you do not have my permission to photograph me right now.
I have to protect myself.
You don't have my permission. I want to go on record. You do not have my permission.
You're a public officer.
I'm here to answer all your questions, but you do not have my permission. Just so you're clear on that.
Okay.
Now, what's your question?
My question is very simple. Why again today did your deputy sheriff accost me in the back of Judge Hummer's courtroom and tell me that I am not allowed to stand in the lawyer's line as a pro se litigant?
I have no idea, first of all, what you're talking about, okay?
Could you get the word out to all of your sheriff's deputies what the rights are of citizens, the civil rights are, specifically me as a pro se litigant and other pro se litigants, so they stop infringing upon our civil rights? Could you do that for me, sir?
You have to understand we have 13 judges, 13 courtrooms, and we will continue to take the lead of the court. If the court says they want this, it's our obligation to make sure we abide by the court's order.
Has Judge Hummer told you that I am not allowed to stand in the line?
No, I have no...
Is it your understanding from the letter from Judge Farina that I am allowed to stand in the line?
I'm not aware of your letter you're talking about, Judge Farina's letter.
The letter that was written to you from Judge Farina and to Patty Lynn Sprout referring to the rights of pro se litigants in response to my request that I be told what the rights of pro se litigants were. Dated approximately August 1st, maybe 2006.
I would have to refer to it. I don't recall.
Do you know, was that a reason why if you would have gotten such a letter, you would not have given it to me when I keep asking what my rights are?
Ben, all I can tell you is that there's a letter out there, direction from the court. Of course, we're going to abide by it.
Is there any way I can get a set of the rules of this court as far as knowing what I'm allowed to do and what I'm not allowed to do as a
go to court administration.
You told me you would investigate that instance of your sheriff's deputy accosting me in the front of the courthourhouse. This is a serious issue, Sheriff Bergman.
Hey, have a great holiday.
You have no comment?
Talk to Detective Walters. He's doing an investigation.
He's doing an investigation of that issue? I'll talk to him. Thank you.
Okay, here's what I was told by the sheriff. He said that that everyone was waiting for the judge to come in to stand up, and that Ben was just not with the program. That's what he told me.
Wow. That's very interesting.
So what did he say now?
He refuses to say anything. He told me that I should check with Detective Walters because he's currently doing an investigation into that incident.
Incident? What is the incident?
Is that possible? Me being accosted in the courthouse. We had a nice talk with the sheriff's solicitor here, and he said he's going to talk to the sheriffs. You're going to talk to him and just ask him not to understand the rules of court and Judge Hummer's.
I'm going to find out from the sheriff what the rules are.
And then you can let me know.
And I will let you know. I'll tell you that right now.
All right.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha.
Well, folks, I made it into the courtroom and was immediately thrown out of the courtroom of Judge Wayne G. Hummer. Came in for a special appearance of Michael Goldberg, PFA Court, with Wayne G. Hummer presiding. It's a musical. It goes like this. I'm Hummer, the judging man, toot toot. I'm Hummer, the judging man, toot toot. I'm into PFAs and I eat me puree. I'm Hummer, the judging man, toot toot. I physically assaulted by 2 sheriff's deputies in Judge Totero's courtroom. I went in to observe Sue Ellison after she went in to put some poor sucker in jail for nothing, probably. And 2 sheriff's deputies came up. One grabbed me by the arm right away, and I said, "Get off my arm!" And he said, "No, you have to leave." And I said, "I'm a father's rights advocate. I'm allowed in here." they said, no, you're not, because Terry Bob says not. Another sheriff came up and they physically threw me out of the courtroom. It was horrendous. It was an abuse. I was deeply intimidated. Did you see that?
It was wrong.
Did you see him throw me out? Terry Bob, the inquiring minds want to know. Why was I physically thrown out of a PFA court?
Like Mike would say, it's time for your meds.
Dial in my meds. He's using my own lines on me. I hate this guy. Why do they throw people out of these things? See, can you tell me the law on that? What is the law?
There was a whole team of sheriffs went in after you got in the elevator.
Did they? Are they after, just in case?
I was like, I better follow Ben down in case they go after him to beat him up.
So you saw it. They physically threw me out.
Yep.
But there were victims and witness
They said
people in that.
no one was allowed in that courtroom, but yet they let me in there.
So you've gone in.
Absolutely.
The people from victims and witnesses go in.
Absolutely.
The people from the domestic violence clinic were inside there the whole time.
The whole time.
But Daddy Justice
I'll let in.
immediately ejected. The sense of rejection and intimidation is overwhelming.
No, that they normally
Sarcasm is coming along with it.
They normally only have 2 sheriffs in there. When they seen you were out in the hall, they put 4 in there.
Yeah, there were 2 of them. One of them was on my belt. One of them was on my belt loop. The other one was on my arm. It's like, holy gee willikers, guys. I'm a father's rights advocate. Why don't you throw the women's rights advocates out? Toss a bunch of them out real quick, huh? So what I want to know is why I get thrown out of the courtroom, but the people from the domestic violence clinic are allowed in to help the false accusing women, and the people from the victims and witnesses
Get a little closer. Turn it the other way so you can see.
No, seriously.
Seriously, what courtroom were you in?
I was in Judge Totero's. I walked in and I made it in about 3 feet till they jumped on me.
Yeah.
Did the judge ask you?
Judge didn't say anything.
No, they were ready for him. We were standing outside for a half hour.
I said, no, I'm a father's rights
lawyers in
advocate.
the courtroom? Or? My deputies are directed that the judge is the captain of the ship. The
Okay.
judge decides who comes in, who don't come in. That's not our show.
So it's Judge Totero.
Totally up to the judge. Yeah.
So Judge Totero's responsible for me getting thrown out of that
answer
court.
is it's up to the judge.
So if I've been told by deputy sheriffs that I'm not allowed in any PFA court because they're all closed, that's not accurate, is it?
My deputy sheriffs have been told several times that the judge is the captain of the ship.
Okay.
He determines who's what. And
Well, so I don't get thrown out physically. Can I get a list, please?
For me to say in every case, no.
Right.
In some cases, yes. But it's up to
Well,
the
Terry
judge.
Bergman, I'm saying to you as a man, I don't like physically having people grab my arm and grab my belt loop and throw me out of a court. As a matter of fact, I really don't like it. And I'm telling you that I want to know, like I asked you months ago, to know which courts I'm allowed in for PFAs and which I'm not. Now, why can't I get
My
that
answer is the
information?
same as it was months ago. It's
I don't know
totally-
till I get my ass thrown out?
No, tomorrow 9
kind of
o'clock.
policy is that?
Tomorrow 9 o'clock, or tomorrow 1:30, the next day at 9 o'clock, and the next day at 1:30. Depending which judge it is, the answer might be different.
Doesn't seem
Now,
right.
Ben, usually we try to treat you the best we can.
I appreciate
We
that. But-
give you special delivery service. You probably forgot about that already.
No. I've told you before, you're the monkey in the middle. Just give me the
We
list from the
treat
judges
you-
of what
we
I can and
treat
can't
you-
do.
You get special treatment.
I know. I just had a dose. I had a dose of special treatment a couple minutes ago. It was special. I felt very special. Only more special I could feel is if he cuffed me.
You know, if the right people see you do that,
They're all coming to
you're
take
going
me
to
away.
competition.
They're coming to
They're
take
coming
me
to
away.
take me
Aha,
away.
aha,
Ha-ha.
aha.
They're coming to take me away.
The judge's chambers knocked on the door, bzz, bzz, and I said, I want to know why I was just thrown physically out of that court. And they told me it was a misunderstanding. I can go back in. I said, you know what? I have a history of this with you guys. That's not acceptable. Left the courthouse for a day. That's enough for me for one day. Incredible idiots. I mean, do you know what it feels like to be grabbed by your body and thrown out of a courthouse physically? Thrown out of a courtroom in front of 15 people? Doesn't feel right.
Mr. Vonderheide, this is Kathy from Judge Kennerdine's chambers. Just calling you in regards to, I understand there was an incident today about you not being allowed into Judge DeTerra's courtroom, that the deputies told you that you were not allowed to be admitted. I wanted to let you know that that was not Judge DeTerra's position, and that the courtroom is open to the public, and of course the public includes you, and that the deputies made a mistake when they had said that they were misinformed. You may come into the courtroom, as can any person, public.
They're coming to take me away, ha ha. They're coming to take me away, ho ho, hee hee, ha ha.
They're coming to take me